Across the entire state of Oregon, a strange and unsettling quiet is spreading through entire neighborhoods. It is not the silence of peace or rural tranquility. It is the silence of absence. Homes built for families remain untouched. Modern apartments, designed for young professionals, stay dark night after night, like shuttered windows to a world that no longer exists. Downtown condos sit vacant for months on end. In some cities, the stillness is so widespread that drone footage looks like it was captured in an abandoned simulation, rather than a living, breathing community. Why is this happening? What transformed one of America's most desirable states into a landscape of exodus and locked doors? From unchecked overbuilding to a brutal rise in insurance costs, from a fleeing population to the collapse of rental demand, Oregon has entered a new and dangerous phase of its real estate history. Homes are sitting on the market longer. Buyers are hesitating, paralyzed by financial fear. Tenants are leaving, and thousands of properties across the state now stand empty, with no sign of recovery on the horizon. Today, we reveal the 8 cities with the highest number of empty homes in Oregon in 2025. This isn't just a list. It is a dossier on the collapse of the American dream on the West Coast. Number 8. Gresham. For most of the last decade, Gresham played a vital role in the Portland metro economy. It was the safety valve. When prices in downtown Portland became impossible, this is where people ran. Gresham was the perfect plan B. Homes were cheaper, the commute was manageable, and mortgage payments were predictable. For first-time buyers who felt locked out of the main market, Gresham offered a realistic and dignified path to homeownership. But in 2025, that dynamic has drastically changed. The safety valve has broken. Gresham's housing market is undergoing one of the most revealing slowdowns in the region, because it shows how quickly a city can unravel when affordability disappears and migration patterns shift. The core problem here is simple, but devastating. Home prices have outpaced local income by too wide a margin. During the height of the housing boom, townhomes that used to sell for $380,000 suddenly became entry-level properties, but with luxury price tags. New single-family constructions in East Gresham crossed the $500,000 barrier in several subdivisions. These price jumps were fueled by Portland residents seeking more space and newcomers from other states with bigger budgets. But in 2025, that demand evaporated. Migration from Portland, once the heartbeat of Gresham's buyer pipeline, has slowed to its weakest level in over a decade. Many families who would have moved here are now ignoring the metro area entirely. They are moving to more affordable cities in Idaho, Utah, Arizona, and Washington. Without this steady flow of new residents, Gresham's pool of buyers shrank much faster than analysts predicted. The visual result is disturbing. Vacancy rates are climbing in various neighborhoods. Homes that, a few years ago, went under contract in days, now sit for 60 to 90 days, even after aggressive price cuts. Those $380,000 townhomes are now listed near $330,000, yet viewings remain scarce. Mid-range single-family homes around $400,000 often see minimal activity, regardless of the incentives offered by sellers. The rental market mirrors this slowdown. Many tenants who once planned to buy in Gresham are abandoning that idea and leaving Oregon completely, removing future buyers from the equation and widening the supply imbalance. With insurance premiums rising, utility costs climbing, and wage growth stagnant, Gresham no longer feels like the affordable alternative it used to be. In 2025, it stands as one of Oregon's clearest examples of a community where listings linger, demand weakens, and the gap between supply and buyers expands month after month. Number 7. Medford. Medford was once the pulsing heart of Southern Oregon's real estate boom. It was a city that attracted everyone: retirees seeking peace, young families, and remote workers seduced by the mild climate, mountain landscapes, and relatively affordable homes compared to Portland or Bend. It seemed like the ideal refuge. But in 2025, Medford is facing one of the sharpest and least expected slowdowns in the region. A perfect storm has formed here. Prices have outpaced income, wildfire-related insurance premiums have skyrocketed, and the flow of new buyers entering Jackson County has diminished drastically. The result is a ghost market, where there are far more homes listed than buyers ready to take them. The affordability crisis is the clearest shift. During the pandemic surge, 3-bedroom homes that sold for $300,000 suddenly jumped into the $450,000 range. New constructions in East Medford climbed even higher, with modern homes surpassing $500,000. These increases were fueled by out-of-state migration, mainly from California and Washington. But that wave has broken. Local incomes never caught up to these values, leaving many families unable to qualify for the prices sellers still expect. This imbalance now appears in rising vacancy rates. In subdivisions near Crater Lake Highway and neighborhoods close to North Phoenix Road, homes sit empty for months. Listings that once generated multiple offers now receive minimal traffic. A typical 3-bedroom home listed for $480,000 might sit for 60 to 90 days, even after reductions of $20,000 or more. Sellers who expected a quick sale to liquidate their assets are discovering too late that the buyer pool has shrunk much more than expected. And there is a hidden factor here, killing sales: insurance. Insurance costs add unbearable pressure. Premiums related to wildfire risk have made homeownership unreachable for many first-time buyers. Builders are also hitting the brakes. Projects in southeast Medford and White City, which planned for steady absorption of new residents, now show unsold homes, unfinished lots, and incentives that still fail to attract strong interest. With rising ownership costs, slowing migration, weakening rental demand, and prices far above what local wages can support, Medford enters 2025 as a city adjusting to a painful new reality. Number 6. Salem. Salem is quietly emerging as one of Oregon's most overlooked vacancy hotspots. While the world watched the chaos in Portland or the luxury prices in Bend, Salem flew under the radar. It never experienced the explosive real estate mania seen in other cities. It benefited from its reputation as a stable, bureaucratic, and relatively affordable state capital. That stability kept demand steady for years. But in 2025, the forces that once sustained Salem's housing market have weakened, leaving the city with far more homes listed than buyers ready to act. The slowdown appeared first and most aggressively in the rental sector. Newly built apartment communities in South Salem and Kaiser now report vacancy rates well above projections. Units that filled instantly during the boom now remain empty for months. Several complexes have crossed the dangerous line into double-digit vacancy levels. Northeast Salem shows an even sharper rise, signaling that weakening demand is spreading across all income levels and property types. On the homeownership side, the cooling is just as clear. Homes priced near $450,000 now sit on the market for 70 to 90 days before receiving a serious offer. Sellers are reducing prices by $10,000 to $20,000 to try and boost viewings. However, traffic remains limited as many buyers have hit an affordability ceiling. Salem's central challenge is the head-on collision between rising living costs and stagnant wage growth. Insurance premiums across Oregon have risen sharply. Utility bills and property taxes continue to climb. But wages, they haven't kept pace. Buyers who could have comfortably purchased a home 5 years ago are now looking at cheaper options in neighboring cities like Albany or Lebanon. Others remain renters because home ownership no longer makes financial sense. Migration trends intensify the strain. A growing number of residents are leaving the Willamette Valley entirely, departing for lower-cost states like Idaho and Utah, shrinking the buyer pool even further. The result is a visible landscape of empty homes in Salem's neighborhoods. Properties linger, movement slows, and the gap between supply and demand widens each month. Number 5. Eugene. Eugene is experiencing one of the most dramatic vacancy shifts in Oregon, and the speed of this change has surprised even the most experienced market watchers. For years, the city felt insulated from economic troubles thanks to the University of Oregon, strong public sector employment, and demand driven by a reliable lifestyle. It was a safety bubble. But in 2025, those stabilizing forces are weakening simultaneously, leaving more homes empty for longer and forcing sellers to adjust their expectations. The clearest pressure point is in student-oriented neighborhoods near the university. Historically, these areas were gold mines. They provided reliable, full occupancy every school year. Today, they show rising vacancies. Enrollment patterns have changed. Hybrid learning has expanded. And crucially, students are moving to cheaper rentals in neighboring Springfield or staying further from campus to save money. Homes that once guaranteed steady income now experience empty rooms and long gaps between tenants. Investor activity highlights this strain. Many out-of-state buyers, who acquired older properties expecting easy cash flow, now face a logistical nightmare. Rising insurance premiums, higher utility expenses, and costly repairs. Roof replacements, outdated plumbing, and electrical upgrades are pushing these investors to the exit, dumping more supply into a market that is already saturated. And then, there is the issue of affordability for locals. The median home price in Eugene, hovering near $500,000, has far outpaced local income growth. Mortgage payments at this level exceed what many families can manage. Buyers who once saved for homes in Eugene are now turning to neighboring cities or moving far away in search of lower costs. Vacancy data reflects this brutal shift. Several neighborhoods, including West Eugene and areas south of campus, now report vacancies above 15%. Newly built townhomes and updated single-family homes remain on the market much longer than expected, even with notable price reductions. In 2025, Eugene looks like a city that expanded for a population that never fully arrived. The homes remain ready, but the buyers and tenants who once fueled that demand are no longer there. What remains is a growing landscape of empty properties and no immediate sign of recovery. Number 4. Bend. Bend has always been Oregon's crown jewel, one of the most desired destinations in the entire Pacific Northwest. It was the place that blended outdoor living, tourism-driven prosperity, and a constant stream of newcomers searching for a superior quality of life. But in 2025, that momentum has slowed dramatically. What was once a booming market has turned into a city filled with vacant listings, stalled developments, and affordability pressures that have pushed many aspiring buyers out of the game. For over a decade, prices in Bend rose at a pace unmatched by local wage growth. Median home values surpassed the $700,000 mark, with many new constructions on the west side routinely listed above $900,000. At these levels, Bend's charm became inaccessible to the very workforce that kept the city running. Teachers, healthcare professionals, service sector employees, and even mid-level professionals found themselves priced out. Now, the consequences are unfolding before our eyes. New developments on the east side tell the story clearly. Rows of partially completed homes sit on quiet streets where construction has slowed or stopped completely. Builders expected consistent demand, but the buyer pool simply isn't large enough to sustain the breakneck pace of development. Some neighborhoods projected to sell out by 2023 are still carrying double-digit vacancies in 2025. The inventory of condos and townhomes has nearly doubled compared to pre-pandemic levels. Units priced between $450,000 and $600,000 remain active for months, even with price reductions of $10,000 to $20,000. Sellers who once expected bidding wars now compete with neighboring units offering aggressive incentives, closing credits, or reduced HOA fees. The rental market reflects the same imbalance. High-end rentals, which once filled quickly with tech workers, relocated Californians, or seasonal staff, now remain without takers. As housing costs rose, the flow of newcomers slowed. Many potential residents are choosing more affordable alternatives like Redmond, Prineville, or entire states like Idaho and Montana. Bend's vacancy problem boils down to one core truth. Prices rose far ahead of income, and the market couldn't keep up. In 2025, the city deals with a landscape of empty homes, unfinished projects, and a market no longer supported by the rapid growth that once defined it. Number 3. Tillamook County. This region has always carried a certain rustic coastal charm. Ocean views, quiet forested hills, and home prices much lower than Portland made it a long-standing magnet for retirees, remote workers, and vacation home buyers. For years, this balance kept the market stable. But in 2025, the county is experiencing a sharp and unexpected housing slowdown that shows how vulnerable small coastal regions become when prices rise faster than income and essential costs skyrocket. The shift in affordability is the most dramatic. During the boom years, homes that once sold in the $200,000 range jumped to $400,000, especially in areas near Netarts, Oceanside, and the Bayfront. Local wages never caught up. Many full-time residents simply cannot qualify for homes that now approach $500,000. Inventory is rising in Tillamook, Garibaldi, Rockaway Beach, and surrounding communities. Standard 3-bedroom homes listed between $320,000 and $400,000 sit for 60 to 90 days, even after price reductions. But there is a hidden villain here: insurance. Exposure to coastal wind, flood zone mapping, and the increasing risk of storms have pushed premiums to values much higher than before. Annual quotes that once hovered around $1,500 can now exceed $3,000, removing many buyers from the market. New construction is also cooling. Projects near the Tillamook River and around Cape Mears show unfinished lots, partially completed homes, and for sale signs that barely move. Migration patterns add pressure. Many longtime residents are leaving for cheaper inland counties, while fewer new families arrive from Portland. With fewer buyers entering and the cost of living rising, the market is losing the support it once relied on. In 2025, Tillamook County stands as one of Oregon's clearest examples of a coastal market trapped between high prices, decreasing demand, and a growing wave of homes waiting for buyers who may never come. Number 2. Beaverton. Beaverton is facing one of the sharpest and most unexpected vacancy surges in the Portland metro area. Long considered the stable, family-centered anchor of Washington County, the city rarely struggled with demand, even during previous downturns. But in 2025, the pressures that drove buyers out of Portland have reached deep into Beaverton's neighborhoods, creating a level of softening the area hasn't seen in years. The central issue here is rising ownership costs. Property taxes across Washington County continue to climb. Insurance premiums have risen drastically due to wildfire risk and statewide rate changes. HOA fees in communities throughout Five Oaks, Murray Hill, and Cedar Hills have also increased. Together, these costs add hundreds of dollars to monthly payments, creating an affordability ceiling that many families can no longer break through. As payments rise, demand weakens. Inventory in Beaverton has increased by nearly 25%. Single-family homes in the $600,000 range, common in Murray Hill and South Beaverton, now sit on the market for 60 to 90 days. Price cuts of $20,000 to $40,000 are becoming routine. Homes that once attracted multiple offers now struggle to generate steady viewings. Condos and townhomes are under even greater pressure. Units near Milliken Way, Tannisbourne, and Jenkins Road report some of the highest vacancy levels in the region. Many carry HOA fees above $400 a month, discouraging buyers and pushing investor units back onto the market, which increases supply. The rental sector tells the same story. Newer apartments near Nike headquarters and along the Max line show rising vacancies. Migration trends exaggerate the slowdown. Families leaving Portland are increasingly skipping suburban Beaverton, choosing Vancouver, Salem, or out-of-state destinations where costs are lower. In 2025, Beaverton stands out as a clear example of demand deterioration. A city once known for reliability now faces rising inventory, weakening interest, and a growing number of homes waiting for buyers who have already moved on. Number 1. Portland. Portland is at the epicenter of Oregon's vacancy crisis, and the scale of the slowdown is unlike anything the city has experienced in years. What was once one of the most desirable metros on the West Coast has entered a period of rising inventory, shrinking demand, and widespread uncertainty. In 2025, Portland has the highest concentration of empty homes in the entire state. Multiple forces converge to create this seismic shift. Years of outmigration have steadily reduced Portland's resident base. Thousands of families moved to Vancouver, Bend, Boise, or entirely out of the Pacific Northwest in search of lower taxes, greater affordability, and a different lifestyle. Fewer residents mean fewer buyers, and the effects are visible in almost every neighborhood. Home prices pushed Portland beyond the reach of local wage earners. The median price, close to $570,000 during the peak, is no longer supported by the current buyer pool. Listings stay active for 90 days or more, even in areas that once saw near-instant demand. Price cuts ranging from $50,000 to $100,000 have become increasingly common. Condo towers show an even more striking weakness. Buildings in the Pearl District, South Waterfront, and downtown report some of the highest vacancy levels in Oregon. Investors who bought units during the boom are now selling at discounted prices or leaving them empty due to rising HOA fees and mounting maintenance assessments. Some towers show entire floors with more dark windows than occupied ones. Portland's single-family residential neighborhoods reveal the same pattern. Streets that once thrived with constant buyer activity now feel quieter. Homes that previously sold at full price in a weekend now remain on the market month after month. Even well-updated properties in Laurelhurst, Selwood, and Alberta face limited interest. High insurance premiums, rising property taxes, and uncertainty about long-term appreciation have led many potential buyers to sit out entirely. With fewer newcomers entering the region, inventory continues to rise faster than demand can absorb it. In 2025, the surge in vacancy in Portland has become the clearest signal that the city's real estate market expanded far beyond the population willing or able to sustain it. Entire blocks feel muted. sales have slowed, and thousands of homes wait for buyers who have already looked elsewhere. These 8 Oregon cities show a housing trend that few expected. Homes are being built or listed faster than buyers and tenants can absorb them. Prices are still high, insurance keeps rising, migration is slowing, and entire neighborhoods are falling silent. But what is happening here goes far beyond corporate reports and financial charts. Every closure, every empty home, alters the routine of entire communities. The neighborhood supermarket, the local school, the corner shop, they all feel the impact when the lights in the surrounding homes go out. The question echoing in these empty streets in 2025 is no longer, what is this home worth? But rather, who is left to live in it? If you want to understand where the American real estate market is really going, don't just look at the numbers. Look at the dark windows. Look at the silence. For more cinematic and in-depth investigations into the cities shaping America's future, subscribe to the channel. Until next time.